The midpoint formula tells us how to find a point halfway between two given points. So I've got these 2 points, some point x1, y1, and some point x2, y2. I want to find the point halfway between them. So imagine we have a line segment connecting them. I want this point right here, halfway between the 2 points along this line segment connecting them. All we're talking about here really is averaging the x's together halfway between the x's and halfway between the y's. So the midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 over 2, literally the average of the x's, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. Again, literally the average of the y values. Now you got to be careful here. In our other formulas, in slope, in distance formula, we have a y2 minus y1, and x2 minus x1. Midpoint doesn't have a minus in it. It's a plus, x1 plus x2 over 2. Same with the y's. Also, you got to keep in mind that midpoint is a point, not a number. We're looking for an x and a y, a point, x comma y. Okay, let's look at an example. Say we want the midpoint between the points 3, 5 and 1, 7. Our directions here are find the midpoint. Okay, for fun, let's draw a graph here. Let's look at this visually. It's not necessary, but we're going to. So 3, 5. That point is right here. 3, 5. And the point 1, 7. That point is about right there. 1, 7. We can look at this visually and figure out where the midpoint is. I want the point halfway between these two. Well, what's halfway between 1 and 3 is 2. Halfway between 7 and 5, the y values, is 6. Right there, 2, 6 is the midpoint. Halfway between the x's, halfway between the y's. Or we could use the formula, which is what we'll usually do. x1 plus x2 over 2, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. So, who's point number 1? Who's point number 2? It doesn't matter. Just like with slope and distance formula, it doesn't matter which point you call number 1 or number 2. As long as you're consistent. If I call this x1, this should be y1. So let's do that. Let's say this is point number 1, x1, y1. And this is point number 2, x2, y2. Then our midpoint will be average of the x's, 3 plus 1 over 2, comma, average of the y's, 5 plus 7 over 2. And then, of course, we simplify this. 3 plus 1 is 4 over 2 is 2. 5 plus 7 is 12 over 2 is 6. Exactly what we saw visually. Halfway between these 2 points is the point 2, 6. Okay, so where do these go wrong? When we throw negatives in. That's where we got to be careful. So let's do an example with some negative numbers. Okay, so let's find the midpoint. Between, that means between, the 2 points, -2, 3, and 4, -1. Let's say here, and. Okay, again, just for fun, let's draw these points on a set of axes. It's not really necessary, but here at first, it's good to visualize. So -2, 3, it's right here. 4, -1 is right here. I want the point halfway between them. If I'm just guessing, it looks like it's about right here. Imagine a line segment connecting the points. We want to go halfway between them. Looks to be right around 1, 1, somewhere around there, if we had to guess. Let's use the formula and check. Okay, we got to decide who's x1, y1, and so forth. Let's call this point here x1, y1. This point x2, y2. Again, if we had done it the other way, we still get the same point. So our midpoint is the point, average of the x's, x1 plus x2 over 2, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2, average of the y's. Now we just got to be careful with the negatives. So I want negative 2 plus 4 over 2, comma, 3 plus negative 1 over 2. 3 plus negative 1 for the y's, negative 2 plus 4 over 2 for the x's. Okay, let's simplify. Negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2 divided by 2 is 1. 3 plus negative 1, 3 minus 1 is positive 2 divided by 2, also 1. So exactly like we thought visually, the midpoint is the point 1, 1. Okay, now every now and again, excuse me, we'll have a problem where somebody will give us one of the points and the midpoint and ask us to find the other missing point. So suppose we have a problem like this. 1, 5 is the midpoint between 3, 2 and what point? Okay, I think honestly the easiest way to do this is just visualize it. Just think about it. Let's draw it out and look at it. So I have the point 1, 5. I have the point 3, 2. 3, 2. So here's the point 1, 5. Here's the point 3, 2. I am told that this point is the midpoint between this guy and something else. So let's just count how we got to the midpoint and do that again. Just double whatever the difference is. So to get from the point 3, 2 to the point 1, 5, I would have to go backwards 2 to get to the midpoint. To get to the other point of the line segment, I would just do that again. So instead of going back 2, I'll go back another 2, back to negative 1. And the midpoint is 3 above one end of my line segment. So I'll go up another 3. So up 3 to 5, up another 3, 6, 7, 8. So back here, at this point, negative 1, 8 is the other end of the line segment that has 1, 5 as the midpoint and 3, 2 as one of the points. Again, how did I get that? I looked to see, well, to get from 3, 2 to 1, 5, I went backwards 2. So my change in x was negative 2. I just do that twice. I double that. Instead of only going back 2, I go back 4. Same with the y's. To get from 3, 2 to the midpoint, 1, 5, I had to go up 3. I just double that. Instead of going up 3, I go up 6. 2 plus 6, of course, is 8. So the other point would be this point, negative 1, 8. And we can always do that. That's midpoint. That's all there is to it.